How are you doing today?
I'm alright.
My name's Anika, and I will be your therapist today. Is it okay if I have a notebook and take some notes?
Yep, that's fine.
Perfect. So, just kind of a quick look into why you're here. I specialize in CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and basically, like the name says, cognitive behavioral. So we focus on your patterns of thinking, and then we look at your behaviors, and we try to kind of find a link between the two and kind of try to see if we can discover a pattern, and then afterwards kind of look more and more into how we can make it so it's compatible with your life, and whatever struggles or difficulties you might be having, we can kind of look more at it. Okay. So just make yourself comfortable. So kind of tell me a little bit about what brought you here today.
I wanted to come in and talk to a therapist just because I've been noticing that I'm really sad lately. Just really bad mood and not very happy lately as within the last couple months, I would say.
Okay. Huh. So you said you have been feeling sad lately. Could you please give me a specific example or incident?
Well, I'm just having low self-esteem, I guess, with myself. I feel like I don't get along with my boyfriend very well, and I feel like our relationship is ending. I don't think my friends like me very much. I'm not getting very good grades. And I feel like my parents are mad at me because of my grades, and so I just all these things coming down into one, and I just feel like there's so much pressure, and I just haven't been myself lately because I've just been so down in the dumps, I feel like.
Okay. So you, from just kind of a brief paraphrasing of that, you feel like a lot of things are happening to you at once, and it's relational and it is academic, and it's mostly both of those two.
Yeah.
And so could you tell me a little more about kind of why you think that's happening?
Well, I live with 5 other girls, and it just seems like every time I'm around they aren't as fun with me as they would be with anyone else, and I just feel like they're judging me all the time, and I feel like I can't be comfortable in my own apartment at school, and so I don't feel like I should be there all the time, so I just don't feel comfortable, and then I just feel like me and my boyfriend aren't getting along lately. He tries to hang out with me and make plans with me and stuff, but it's just I just have low self-esteem, I feel like, so he wants to hang out with me, but I just don't want to, and I feel like we were going to go to a movie one night, and I kind of just blew him off, didn't answer any of his calls, and I just kind of came up with a lame excuse, and I feel really bad about it, but I just feel like I don't want to go out in public with him because he deserves better than me, and he should be dating someone else better than me, and I don't know.
Okay. In your mind, can you tell me what you mean by better than you? What is better than you?
Just someone prettier, someone smarter, funnier.
Well, if you ask me, I think you're all of those and more. But kind of just looking at the instance you're saying, it seems like your thought pattern is that it's mostly negative, no matter what is happening, it's all negative.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anything kind of positive happening in your life? Would you say that on a scale of 1 to 10, how good would you say your life is?
I would say right now a 4. I go to a good school, but I feel like I'm not taking the advantage of getting good grades and studying enough, and I have gotten along with my friends in the past, but not lately, and my relationship with my parents is different, my relationship with my boyfriend is different, so yeah, I would say it's not going good right now, even though it should be. I mean, I'm a pretty lucky person, and I should be able to be happy with what I have, but I'm not.
So just kind of what I am hearing from you is that you think you're lucky, but just right now is a rough patch.
Mm-hmm.
So do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you really believe that tomorrow or in the future things are going to get better? Or how is, on a scale of 1 to 10, kind of what would you rate your hopefulness or hopelessness? Kind of for 1 being hopeless, nothing's going to change, to 10 being like very hopeful, like it's definitely going to change?
I would say about a 5. I mean, obviously I want things to change. I want to be happy, and I want to like get along with my boyfriend. I want to get along with my parents and with my friends, and obviously get good grades. But I just, the way things have been going lately, I'm just not, I don't know, I'm not very hopeful about it. I don't know what else to do.
Okay. Well, kind of, you said, kind of going off of your thoughts. So like we kind of did identify a negative thought pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of going off of that, would you tell me like, how do you feel when you think of these thoughts? When you just kind of, in your head, you rationalize why your boyfriend deserves someone better? And first of all, like, what are your emotions and feelings then, like, kind of, what do you do emotionally, or like, how do you feel? Just kind of, can you describe that in detail for me, kind of?
I've kind of just been like shutting down. Like, I think it's part of the low self-esteem that I don't want to go out in public. Like, I guess I haven't really been taking care of myself the way I should be, the way I know I should be. I just, like, I can't, it's really hard for me to get out of bed. I can't, like, I feel like I'm sleeping all the time, and that, obviously that has to do with, like, not studying either. That has a huge impact on my grades, but, and I've been, like, had really weird eating patterns, and I'm a nutrition major. Like, I know the difference between eating good and eating bad, but I've just been eating, like, really bad lately. Like, and I know that's wrong, too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, yeah, it just adds to it, too.
Okay. So you, again, have given me some behavior things, like not getting out of bed, like that's a behavior, not eating right. But could you kind of tell me more about your internal emotions, like how do you internalize it? Kind of, what are your feelings like? Are you okay with it? Are you happy? Or are you kind of like sad? Are you like really sad? Or kind of, can you give me more details? Like, do you ever have any feelings of doing something because of your feelings? And like, what are your feelings, first of all? Kind of, can you go more into that?
Yeah, I just feel like I always have negative thoughts, and I usually keep everything in, so I'm just been like really low and down on myself, and I keep it in, but yeah, I would never do anything to hurt myself. I'm the type of person that keeps my emotions in, and I don't really like bring them out, so that's why this is a little more difficult for me.
Do you think sorry, continue. Do you think the difficulty part of it is that any sort of emotion you feel, like it's kind of like draining, or energy, like you lose energy from it probably. So would you say that because of these energies that you're expending on focusing on negative things, would you say like that is why you're exhausted and you can't get out of bed, and kind of like, do you kind of see sort of a pattern of
Ever since this behavior started, I just feel everything's been like causing like another bad thing to happen, and like I'm looking at things the bad way. I can like see that I have a bad negative feelings about everything, and like a bad outlook on everything. So I just feel like it's all connected, like my relationships, my grades.
So you definitely see kind of a pattern. You said that you would never, like you've never thought of hurting yourself, but do you ever see kind of yourself in the future? Like, have you ever had thoughts of maybe life would have been better if I wasn't even here, then I wouldn't have to deal with these things? Do you ever have those kind of feelings, or?
I have those kind of feelings because with what I'm dealing with, like, yeah, it'd probably be better if I wasn't here, because then, my friends wouldn't have to act weird around me, my boyfriend wouldn't have to be ditched, and my parents wouldn't have to deal with having a daughter who's either paying for college but she's not doing very good. So yeah, I've definitely had feelings of like if I wasn't around, life would be a lot easier for everyone else. I don't think I would ever actually do anything, and I would hope that I would never hurt myself, but I think if things keep going the way that they're going, that it could lead to that.
Okay. So can you kind of tell me, you've talked a lot about your thoughts, and you've kind of touched base on your emotions and what comes out of it, what kind of behavior you have observed in yourself. And so kind of, could you tell me a little bit about do you have any physical symptoms like that, as you think you've noticed like a change in your physical activities or
Mhm.
feelings or?
Yeah, well, I usually go on runs, and I've always really enjoyed that, but as of lately I don't do that anymore, so I'm not getting really any exercise. And my weird eating habits are kind of like I'm gaining weight, I feel like, and I just feel like from being inside all the time, like, that's like another physical problem. Like, I just feel like since I'm in bed all the time, since I'm laying around all the time, that I'm just like not treating my body right. And so, and like again, that adds to more like negative feelings, because if I'm gaining weight, I'm not going to feel any better about myself.
Okay. And you said you're laying around in bed, so would you say you feel a lot of lethargy and kind of
Mhm.
not just
Yeah.
energy? Like you feel always drained out of energy, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Amanda, from what we have talked about, kind of, it seems you are either on track or on the track for depression, and it's a lot of the feelings that you have mentioned are not very uncommon, and I don't think you should feel guilty for feeling those things. It's actually a very, obviously, very kind of difficult situation when you feel, if relationships are important to you, when they feel strained. And so kind of what we're going to do next is kind of come up with a plan, like now that we have kind of recognized your behaviors and your thought patterns, kind of come up with a plan that can help you reduce like stress or reduce anxiety or reduce kind of like your sad thoughts, and kind of come up with a concrete plan so we can move forward and kind of assess your improvement, which I'm
Mhm.
hoping there will be. So kind of, could you in your words describe to me what a good girlfriend is? Just give me some adjectives that you might think.
Willing to spend time with your boyfriend, patient, nice, caring, supportive, I would say.
And would you say before you had these feelings, would you say that you saw yourself having any of these, one or more of these characteristics?
Yeah, I think I used to.
Okay.
I
And do you,
used to be supportive and used to want to spend time with him, and I care about him a lot, and I know he cares about me. So.
okay. So, what kind of actions would you like? Do you think we can do to kind of, make that spark come back? Like not the spark, but kind of, what we just discussed. Kind of, what kind of actions do you think we could do? And I can give my ideas to kind of doing something together, things like that. What kind of things do you guys enjoy doing based on that? Like, kind of, let's try to make a plan where we can do things maybe once a day or once a week where, you can
Yeah.
make kind of.
I think it would help if we made plans to like go do something that we used to do. We used to always go bowling all the time. Maybe we can go bowling again, because that was something that we always had a lot of fun together. And so maybe if we did that, like we used to, it could like make me want to spend more time with him, and like eventually maybe be more supportive of what he's doing and not,
Yeah. What other activities do you enjoy doing with him?
Going to movies, going out to eat and stuff.
Okay.
Typical. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
What about your roommates? What kind of things would you say that you used to do with your roommates? And it sounds like you did have a good relationship with them, and then it kind of faltered. So what kind of things did you, as a group of friends, enjoy doing? And
Well, we used to go out to eat a lot, but I mean, we used to go out a lot, like typical college students, like go out to the bar and stuff. But I just feel like they don't want me to come anymore. They don't want me to come with them, like out to eat and then go out for drinks or whatever after. So I'm not like doing that anymore. So maybe if I try to include myself a little more and just like put myself out there,
and
I bet that would help.
do you think you could do that by inviting them out sometime? Be like, hey, can we go out to the bars? Kind of,
Yeah.
you initiate it, and it can be hard, but do you think you could do that?
I think I could, yeah. I used to, I just haven't. So, and because I'm not really making the effort to be their friend, they're not really making the effort to be my friend.
Yes.
So I feel like if I did that, it would definitely help.
Yeah, I think it's just important to really know that you know, whatever has happened in the past, we have to focus on the here and now, and things have happened, but as long as we can kind of recognize it and kind of decide from a path, like the past shouldn't matter as much if you can make choices that will lead you to have kind of a more smooth relationship or a smooth pattern of behaviors in your life. Okay, so just kind of the typical college student things. And what about your parents? What can you do to?
I feel like because I haven't seen them for a while, so I feel like our communication is off, and they don't really know where I'm at. Like, I don't think they realize the negative emotions that I've been feeling lately. And so I feel like if I even went home to go spend some time with my parents, that I could explain my situation and like tell them why my grades probably aren't the best. Because I feel like being a good daughter is like being open and honest with your parents too, and like having a good relationship with your parents, and maybe we need to work on that a little more.
Exactly. So. Perfect. And finally, for your academic struggles, what do you plan to what kind of things can you do, you think, to get yourself, like right now, would you say you're studying, like what are your studying habits?
I don't really have any. I mean, I do the bare minimum basically with my homework, but I don't really study for my tests because I feel like I'm going to fail them anyway, so what's the point? So obviously, I know that's wrong too. I think that if I work on studying more, I can probably get better grades, but I think it would help to come up with a schedule of studying, and like so I can like manage my time better.
Exactly. Just because you said the statement that you think you don't want to study sometimes because you have the feeling that you will fail anyway. So that inevitable failure, those thoughts, would you kind of tell me a little about your college history before? I mean, you've been in college for a couple years, you're a junior. So would you say like your grades were always suffering, or do you think it's just recently?
I've always had to work really hard with my grades because I've never been a great test taker, but so I've always had to go in like a separate room from my classes and ask for extended time for my tests, and I've still never done that well on tests, even though I put all the hours I needed for studying. And so I feel like I've been really sick of doing that because I still don't do that well. So I mean, I would say like my academic past, I mean, it hasn't been that strong, but I also do put a lot of the work in, so.
Okay.
So I feel like if I start studying more, I mean, I just need to work harder, I think.
Okay. Any sort of schedule would help you keep on track?
Like if I set a schedule like I think that'll help me a lot more, because if I say like this is the time you're going to go running, because maybe I can get back into running again, and then this is your time for studying, this is your time for friends. I think that would help a lot.
Perfect. Well, based on just kind of the feedback you gave me on how you think of how you can get better at things or fix or smoothen things out, would you be willing to kind of do all these activities, like at least some of them like once a week, kind of make sure, because I know it can get there could be a financial strain if you go out every day with your friends, or like your boyfriend, that's not healthy either. So just kind of making sure you go on a date at least once a week, or kind of making sure you talk to him at least 10 minutes a day. So just kind of, let's make a list. So you can just kind of give me ideas too, and I can give my ideas, and we can collaborate a list that you could follow, and you have to make sure that you do the list every week, kind of? Is that an agreement we're comfortable making to each other?
Yeah, I would say for going out and spending time with my friends, I mean, since I live with them, it wouldn't be a bad thing to like watch a movie with them once a week, or hang out with them once a week, and then like maybe go out with them once a weekend.
Yeah, you can make dinners and kind of do so many things. So I will write all those options that you have just said and kind of write those down, and you have to make sure that you do only one of all of them at least once a week.
Okay.
And make sure you initiate it, because it sounds like your friends, if they see that you're trying to kind of bring that back, maybe that will let them think that, she we should give her a chance because, you know,
Yeah.
she's going through some things. And maybe just even talking to them about, like, you know, the fact that you've been, like, you know, struggling with that kind of might help them see where you're coming from. Because
Yeah.
otherwise they just might think that you're maybe projecting, but I don't want to put words in their mouth, but just kind of maybe talking to them, because I do think that since you have been good friends, they might be empathetic towards you and kind of see what you're doing.
Okay.
And so maybe just kind of doing like a movie or hangout or dinner. So those are the things we have planned.
Yeah.
And just once a week. And as for your boyfriend, you mentioned bowling, movies, eating out, and just things like that, just going to the bar and hanging out with your friends. So do you think of adding that at least once a week? And this can be more based on, like, you know, but is it okay if we say once a week at
Yeah,
least?
I think it would help. Just like seeing him once a week would make me want to keep spending time with him too. I mean, at least once a week would be good, because once I'll start seeing him more, I'll like want to keep seeing him, I think.
Okay.
So once a week would be good, probably.
And do you guys do you live on the same campus, or do you talk on the phone or Skype? What is your communication?
We're usually text a lot, but then, I mean, we live pretty close to each other, so
Okay.
it wouldn't be hard to see each other once a week.
And have you talked to him about any of your difficulties, or do you just kind of keep it to yourself?
I keep it to myself, which I think I should. He really cares about me a lot, so I think that he would be sympathetic towards
Okay.
what I'm going through.
I think, what do you think about calling him and talking to him at least 10 minutes, 3 times a week or more?
Yeah,
Do you think that's a good goal, or do you think that's too much?
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
Can you for 10 minutes? Because I think sometimes just kind of being in daily communication, there are so many things that happen every day and you forget them the next day. So if for both significant like partners to be on the same page, it's good to kind of keep up with things that are happening and
Yeah.
etc. So far we have going to just like go on a date and talk to your boyfriend 3 times or more per week, at least for 10-minute periods. And finally, you said you wanted to visit your parents. So like, do you live close to your parents, or?
I live about 2 hours away from my parents, so I don't think it would be a bad thing to go home on a weekend or something like that and spend time with them, or at least one night of the weekend.
Okay, I mean, yeah, and I understand that, you know, it's kind of a financial strain to drive 2 hours to and from. So maybe you could even like make it a more realistic goal and go home maybe one weekend per month.
Yeah.
Kind of just go surprise them, or, you know, take them out to dinner, or even something, whatever you would want to do, and even do activities that you enjoy. You could go fishing or whatever you want, just kind of, you know, do things like that. So could we kind of make a plan that we can meet your family?
Yeah, I would say go home once or for 1 weekend a month.
Okay.
And I would really like to take my parents out to dinner and like to a movie. I think that would be really fun
Okay.
for us to do. And I think it's like, because we used to do that all the time when I was in high school, so I think it would be a good thing to do.
Perfect.
Spend more time with them.
Do you think we could add that to your goals then, when you visit your family, like dinner and movie date? Perfect.
And I think it would help if I told them what was going on with me too.
Yeah, you go. I see you're, you know, on it. That's good. That's the best thing we need for you to want to get better, you know? And so, okay, so we have going home at least once a month, and this month your goal is to take them to a dinner/movie, and then just kind of tell them more about your issues, kind of ease them into it. Would you say they're supportive generally?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if it would be a huge relief off my shoulders too if I told them what was going on.
Yeah, I think so too. So here's kind of your list of events that we have, but I will add one more thing to that, just to kind of help you kind of get better faster, kind of, because a lot of time depression is like treated with medicine and medication. So I will actually refer you to a psychiatrist who can possibly give you prescription for Prozac or some sort of antidepressant,
Okay.
and he will give you more, or he or she will give you the more of the details. So just kind of, I would refer you to that person, and I don't think it should be a problem to get a prescription because it does sound like, you know, you could use it, and that would be up to that person to determine, but I would just kind of give you a referral and
Okay.
help you so you can kind of have the medicine going and your behavior things going. And I believe our next appointment is not for another 2 weeks, but I will hopefully see you then.
Mhm.
So
Thank you.
it was good talking to you, Amanda. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.